What's good, y'all? Hope y'all blessed. Hope y'all doing well. It has been a day. Been running around. Honestly, I had a whole bunch of other content and things of that nature prepped. Would have had something up earlier, but as I was looking at it and editing it, I realized I was missing pieces, and it just didn't feel like what I wanted to put up. So we are just going off the cuff. There's endless ideas that are running in my mind all the time from how to execute things just from a creative standpoint that I know like the back of my hand. And then when I actually look at it, I'm like, wait, I haven't gone into great detail about that. I need to get that message out. And then it goes from like this broad abstract, and then I got to funnel it and all this other stuff you may not care about. But there is somebody that does. But anywho, something that's been on my brain or that just came to me that I'll prop the camera up and I'm like, all right, let's talk about it. Piggybacking a little bit into what I think is important, what we should focus on from the previous video, as far as a society, as adults, and things of that nature. Part of a big reason why I feel that we are in a space where we need to be as a society, moving, connecting with one another, communicating with one another, strangers, family, whatever the case is just not engaging. Like, of course, there's statistics and everything for what people actually want to pour into. We're dang near at this point indoctrinated into entertainment, and that's all we do is just stare and stare and stare and do this. So it's like getting sunlight, talking to somebody in the grocery store, and actually sparking up a conversation is just like foreign. But back to the engagement part, if you think about it, we always hear the phrase, if you don't use it, you lose it. And there's validity to it. But another part of the reason, outside of just being crazy schedules, crazy responsibilities, that definitely is going to go in the bucket of um, being challenging to prioritize those things. But I feel like it would become more of a priority if we made it engaging. The same way it's engaging to stare and watch TV and watch somebody else, elevate and do cool things in life, and you just sit on your butt, is to have fun and play. And that sounds so cliche, and instantly people are gonna check out or tune out. Like, yeah, no, that's for kids. I'm like, well, that's the part right there to hone in on and focus on. He's like, y'all tripping. Like, that's not. If you think about all the people that you may idolize or that you do look up to or get inspired by, like, they find elements and ways to play. Now, I'm not saying that they don't execute. I'm not saying that they don't put in tons of work and they have grit and they don't have a lot of pain or crazy stories. We all do. But I feel like they have some level of that in their life. And honestly, maybe their work is their play. But I say that to say that's slightly a different topic. What I mean by play and things that are engaging, I mean literally like an adult recess. Like, we need more of it. I promise you there would be so many more happier adults if that was just readily available. Obviously, that's not going to be the case. It's not a conversation that's had at the doctor's office when you go see them for one time a year. Hopefully, you're with like a modern thinking physical therapist or chiropractor or personal trainer or strength and conditioning coach, to where it's like they're employing for you to move your body and do these things and be immersed in community. But another cool element to it that would make you want to do it for a long period of time and for long haul for like the rest of your life would be to make it engaging and make it fun. Ways to do that: interacting, connecting. Obviously, there's a huge craze with certain sports, newer sports like pickleball. Those are very immersive. You got to interact, you got to let out some emotion when you're playing and things of that nature. Now, there are still phases to get there. If you've been a person, you've been sedentary and you haven't moved in a decade's worth of time, picking up a racket and just going to play may not be extremely wise. But that's not to say that there's still an entry point for you to get into to then be able to play that. And that's what I want us to all get back to. Not just to say go back to playing pickleball, but to playing sports, to playing things that are fun, to playing things that kind of turn on that competitive edge for you. That would make it all worthwhile. That would make us all integrate way more. That would make us honestly feel a little bit lighter in our day-to-day task and our crazy responsibilities and our crazy jobs, whatever the case is, would be play. There's not a moment where we have it. And it goes back to what I mentioned in the previous video with time. Our immediate thought process is going to be like, well, I'm like, no, not well. Like, going back to this, 4 to 7 hours that you have, if you were to allocate that time right there and 2 or 3 of those were into fun, I mean, like, dang near, it could be kickball, it could be pickleball, it could be playing tag. I know it sounds crazy, but the muscles and the reaction time and the power that's needed for longevity, so we can, reduce our risk of falls as we get older and we become grandparents. Like, there's statistics that show that if you have a grandparent in their 70s or 80s and they fall and fracture a hip, their rate of passing goes down significantly. So power is going to be the first quality to go. How do you train power without telling somebody we're going to be doing hill sprints and we're going to, be doing acceleration work where we're pushing this? They don't want to hear that. If you just say, hey, here's a ball, a tennis ball, and I'm a in-person coach, and I'm going to drop the tennis ball, you got to go pick it up. Well, now you've gamified it. They're like, well, I don't want it to drop, and I'm, racing with my partner that I work in a group setting with. Well, now they're going to compete. Cool. Uh, let's say we're doing a conditioning finisher, and they're like, actually, they pose that they want to run. They tell the coach, well, coach is like, oh my goodness, they said they want to run. Instead of it just being like, hey, we're gonna just go run around this, or maybe you're doing conditioning sprints, or you're doing a shuttle sprint back and forth 10 times. They're gonna be like, oh, that's so daunting. Fun way to gamify it. Get some bands, get some tape, make like a tic-tac-toe board. Get a cone, create teams, make sure that they know what colors they are. Let's say you got 4 people in a group, or whatever. Yeah, 4 people in a group, or even you could be one-on-one. And shoot, if it's just you and the client, it could be just be y'all two and y'all go back and forth. Y'all say 3, 2, 1, go. Y'all both sprint. You put in the cone of your color in whatever box, the same way you play tic-tac-toe. Now they're not even thinking that they're conditioning, they're just thinking that they're trying to beat you. Those are some ways that are super fun and immersive, that you're getting their heart rate up. If it's like for a warm-up, if it's for a finisher, it's a great finisher. It's again taking their mind off of the actual thing and task that they're doing, but they're still getting the result and the adaptation. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's so many creative ways, and I think we need to tap into that, ask questions, kind of pick each other's brain. People that are in the space, people that have never moved their body, like, ask. Like, there may be a professional right next to you that could be a great resource, that can pour into you, that can get you in a state of, I'm not doing this chore, even though it's only 4 hours out of your week. But regardless, eventually it'll become, hey, it may have started out as a chore and like daunting, and then it became like, okay, now I'm actually seeing some changes in my body. All right, that's cool, but I'm getting bored. All right, now I'm actually doing this and I'm having fun, and I've met a lot of cool people, and now they're gonna spread the word, and now they're gonna spread the word to somebody else, and now you have a whole community, and this is how you make impact and change. So all that stemming from of thinking of play. We only lose that because we don't do it as we age. We can still play as we become adults. It just is frowned upon as a society. I get it. You have kids, you have a partner, you have all these other things to take care of and be responsible for. But that doesn't mean you can't carve out a little bit of time to still do those things. The same way that hopefully in your relationships with your partner, you're carving out time to still date, you're still carving out time to allocate finances and go through bills and grow and elevate and all those other things. Like, maybe you are even allocating time to move your body and walk, and you're intentional with that. But a helpful way to sustain that and do it for the long haul is to be connected and be in community and be around people, because they're going to push you when you don't want to. Hopefully you get to the point where you can do it intrinsically. And the other facet is to make it fun, play games. One way to show up or be ecstatic to continue to show up to something that may not be, something that's like the back of your hand or the most fun, even years down the line, is to do that. So that's what came to mind. That's all I got. I hope y'all soaked up some good gems from that. Eventually, I'll go into maybe even more specific ways to gamify, but you got a little visual of some of the ways that I've done it. and research. And maybe a ton of other ways. I'm open to seeing and learning other ways as well. But that's all I got for today. I hope y'all have a great day, great night. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.